Just welcome to Ghoulish Gab, always spooky, always under 7 minutes. Today we're going to talk about a specific part of practical effects, puppetry.
Yes.
In a lot of these old school movies, puppetry was a big part of making creatures large and small come to life. So we're just going to talk about some movies that we thought made good use of puppetry at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And whatever, puppets.
I think in my opinion, one of the best uses of puppetry done in a really frightening and amazing way is the xenomorphs from Alien. Because a lot of that in the franchise is puppetry.
The Queen, especially in the first one, was heavily puppetized.
Heavily puppetized.
It's a word now.
But if you think about the amount of people it took to control, especially the Queen, like puppetry-wise, and how giant it was, and then if you have a chance to watch any behind the scenes on how they created those monsters and how they controlled them, it's a feat that I can't even comprehend it. I think that is one of the best examples of puppetry in horror ever.
I would agree. That was the late 70s when they were making that movie, so they had way less to work with than anybody had, now or after that. Let's just talk about some of the Puppet Master puppets quick, because it's gonna come up.
Yeah, it's gotta.
There were so many of those movies, and the movies themselves are not all swinging for the fences, let's say. There's a lot of cool parts in each of them, a lot of good puppet bits, and of course, a lot of those were done with actual puppetry being a big part of it, or in the mix with the effects.
Yeah.
So we have to mention the Leech Woman.
Ugh.
That's
honestly terrifying. Just. Ugh.
But where are those leeches coming from? You're a puppet. You don't have leeches. But that's a whole nother thing.
But then also the main puppet, and I can't
remember. Blade. Just the one with the.
Yeah. Why?
The blade?
Yeah, with the blade.
The one with the blade.
The one with the blade, obviously. But
not to be confused with Blade, the vampire hunter, who was not a puppet.
The way that they utilized him, like the cutting of the Achilles tendons,
that gets me
every time. And yes, like you said, it's not an amazing feat of cinema, but the puppets in it actually, especially when we were younger, did freak you out. Well,
and then there was Pinhead, the one who was just strong.
Strong, but then just a really tiny head, right?
Yeah, he had the really tiny, the pinnish head. Tunneler was my other favorite with the drill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we would just drill into people. And then and Torch, the one that had the fire. They didn't really spend a lot of time with the names on those at all. They didn't have time for that.
They're like, oh, this one's got a blade for a hand?
And then hold the phone. I got a name for this one. Then there was the demonic toys from Full Moon Features as well, too, which was just more of the same thing, except that none of those characters are as memorable as the Puppet Master ones. But kind of the same thing you watch through that franchise, and not a lot of solid films, but some cool puppetry style effects for that time.
For sure. Tremors. Tremors is a great example of puppetry because the graboids, both in large scale and the smaller scale formats, were controlled by puppeteers. So and you can kind of see it in some of the smaller versions. You're kind of like, oh, that kind of looks like somebody's hand in a meat suit. I was going to say, with
those, you could even use your hand
somehow. I'm pretty sure some of them were just somebody under there just going like, on there. But they still managed to look creepy, and especially the large scale ones. That could have easily been a very clumsy and poorly executed creature. But the fact that the puppetry was so well executed, I think is why we like Tremors still so much today.
Well, a side note on that, why it was kind of scary too. It's the first movie that I ever remember seeing where things are just coming up out of the ground, and the ground is everywhere.
Yeah.
So you're in the desert. You're like, wait, the ground? I am always on the ground. You're telling me there could be shit under there that could come up like that? So
especially when you realize you weren't safe in the house, you weren't safe. You were not safe anywhere except
in the
rocks.
Sky, or I guess, yeah,
yeah,
just the sky,
just the sky,
space maybe. I'm not going to talk too much about this movie because it's a stone cold classic, but Audrey 2 in the 1986 version of Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, yeah.
Is a whole lot of puppetry going on with that. And it still looks so good. And that's another one where it's a massive piece because, to scale to fit people inside of it when it's full grown.
Yep.
I mean, it would, could eat a whole person.
And they had to control the puppets while it was consuming a person.
Mm-hmm.
So there had to be room in there for the puppeteers as well as the person that Audrey 2 was eating.
Yeah, and that was, they were making that in the middle of the 80s. So again, there's not...
And they managed to recreate it for a stage show. Like, there are puppeteers that do this on Broadway still.
Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive.
What about... Okay, so it kind of counts. I'm going to count it. I think that this is one of those movies that people write off because it's got a ventriloquist dummy in it, and they think that we're talking...
Though.
Yeah, they think that we're just going to be talking about basically Goosebumps. But Dead Silence is freaky, and it's freaky because that dummy named Billy is fucking freaky and creepy. And the puppeteering in that is part of what contributes to how freaking creepy it is, on top of the fact that dummies are just creepy in general.
Ventriloquism is just gross. Like, don't do that. It's creepy, but, like, who does that? I guess if you enjoy it, you know what? Don't let me crush your dreams. If you enjoy it...
Live your dreams.
Live your dreams. Go watch it. Do it. I don't care. I'll mention just real quick... I got a couple. The Gate from 1987, which essentially doesn't hold up as well today as far as some of the effects. But I used to see that on, if I'd go to a friend's house who had HBO, I felt like they were always playing that late at night. We get to watch like Tales from the Crypt, which, that's where, whatever. But
that was an excellent example of puppeteering too.
Yes, yeah, the Crypt Keeper.
The Crypt Keeper.
I mean, right there. But The Gate from 1987, it's just, some kids are left at home, and of course... I don't know, they play a record backwards or something stupid, and then a gate from hell opens up in their backyard. But there's these tiny little fucking demons, and of course there's a lot of puppetry going on there. And they were just so creepy when I was a kid. And like I said, now if you didn't grow up with it and you go watch it, you might be like, well, this is freaking stupid. Probably. But at the time, that was, to me, that was some great freaking puppetry. Tell us some of your favorite special... puppetry effects, practical puppetry effects, whatever, or why you hate ventriloquism in the comments. Okay, bye.